Hello, everyone. Actually, right now, is wait, let me see what time is it. So it's 4:09 in the morning, and so the reason why I made this live actually is the first time that I made a live video, a live stream, I guess people call it nowadays. Is because I have this idea for a very long time from the recognition that, I think whenever you go to bed and you dream, it's actually is the opportunity for each of us to actually watch a movie, right? For free. And in fact, you are the only person in this whole world of billion of people who actually get a chance to see that movie firsthand. And you get to see it differently every time you watch it. And you are actually the only person who know what you actually don't even know how the movie is going to turn out. The movie is unique at every single time. And in fact, it is so randomly organized and produced with events from your own experiences accumulated over time, and your brain just somehow, in some unknown mechanism, mix and match them together into a series of images and sound and scenes that you experience as a dream. It could reflect something or simply just the process that your brain is trying to make sense of the experiences. So I thought it would be nice to kind of at every time that you dream about something to actually document it. And I'm kind of lazy to have a journal right by my bed, because for sometimes, at least for me, I'm not sure about for you, it's very hard for me to write down something, simply because my thoughts are often faster than the rate at which I can write or type something down. So anyway, today I this is the first episode of I haven't got the time to actually think of a title for this series, but basically today is the first time that I will record what I dreamt today. So today I dreamt about I was actually in a class, and we were assigned a homework to read something and to answer questions about that reading. And I think the scene was I was in a class, and then I entered the class with my friends who I actually don't remember who was in the class now. But it's basically a novel, a very famous classical kind of piece of work that's very important, seemed to be very important. And one of the questions was, let me remember. Sometimes it's hard to, you have it in your head, but then you cannot describe. So, so the question was to describe, um, w- uh, describe what was the mother's in that novel advice to the boy who was trying to finish something. And it turns out that in my dream in the movie, um, I didn't do the homework at home. And I remember one of the friends in the class with me said like, so why didn't you do your homework? And then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do it on the spot. And I think like one of the feeling, like this is amazing, because even though you are dreaming and some of the thing doesn't make logical sense in real life, you always feel like you're actually in it and it's actually happening. And I don't think that anyone has yet fully understood how that work biologically. Anyway, and so the friend was asking me that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure. Like I'll do it on the spot when the teacher comes. And then I remember the teacher would actually didn't come and the substitute did. And she was actually asked me first about the homework. And I remember like took out another notebook with already written up some random answer for that one question. And then I said, oh, so this is one of the illogical thing, is that I said earlier that I didn't do the homework beforehand, but now I have something already prepared. Anyway, so that's just how the dream works. And so I read up the answer, and the answer was, um, like, um, like the answer was, so if that person, the boy, was going to be successful, he need to work very much harder. And then the teacher was like, okay, that's, and then she actually marked something on my notebook, and then she asked someone else to see if the answer was accurate. And it turns out that some of my friends in the class was like two girls and one guy, I think, responded like, oh, actually it's not accurate, the answer was kind of wrong. In fact, the mother's advice was, take your time, and in fact, she said something like basically the answer was not that he need to really work very hard because he has been a failure, but she said, to take his time, and failure is actually will allow him to do better next time. And then I woke up, and then I check my phone, and then I feel like, I have this idea incubated in my head for a long time. And so I decided to just kind of start making it, and why not sharing it with you guys, especially during this time of confinement. In Belgium, we still quite in the lockdown. It's actually not lifted yet, so and in fact now we have to wear a mask every time we take the transportation, public transportation. And I'm sorry if my English is sometimes, some of the words I still don't really pronounce correctly. I'm actually English, what do they call it, English as second language learners. So even though I lived in the U.S. for I think like 10 years before I moved into Europe for my master program. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's so important for us to actually carry out the thing that we really want to do. But we for me at least, for this kind of project, I was like really like the idea. I think during this time of like pandemic of something crisis, we as humans desire to connect and to share our experiences with other people actually increased. And so, some people like to write, some people like to more visual, and someone is more audio, more what, I don't know what's the word for it, but basically like different people have different way of expression. And so for me, I think this is a great way for me to just kind of explain my thought processing with you guys. And maybe some of you also have think this idea kind of cool, documenting your dreams, because that's really the unique interpretation of your own experiences. And maybe this is the way to understand better about who we are and why we exist in this world. Anyway, see you guys next episode. And I think I will make my nickname something. Right now, all of my Twitter and Instagram is like QNN Duke. That's where I graduated. But maybe I'll call myself something. Anyway, label doesn't matter, right? Don't matter, right? Anyhow, good night. I'll be back to my bed, and maybe I'll make another short video about what I dream next time. Okay, see ya.